Quant brings its heritage and expertise in creating DLT-based financial infrastructure for all forms of tokenized digital assets and money to be interoperable. In the project, we're bringing a multitude of solutions and technology. This includes enhanced programmability, which is over and above what we've done before in CBDCs and fit for commercial banks, interoperability across networks and different types of DLTs, the interconnectivity of all of these, and then finally, all of this is orchestrated through our technology and presented through a banking-grade API.
Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for tapping back in to see what I have to say. And with that being said, what are we talking about? We're talking about QUANT Network in this one. And yes, Visa, the #1 payment processor in the world. They have officially now joined this whole experimental 6-month, 7-month, 8-month phase. Follow me, okay, you guys, because all these things are getting in alignment, okay? And that Genius Act being signed into law was so critical for this next stage of the evolution of the markets of what we're going through right now.
This is really a big day. This afternoon, we take a giant step to cement American dominance of global finance and crypto technology as we sign the landmark Genius Act into law. That we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world. Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins. This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. Thank you very much, everybody.
Because the very first part is going to be the money. That is how most of us will have our first interaction with Web3. Will be the form of a stable coin or CBDC, depending on where you sit in the world. Eventually, it's going to be so many different aspects and so many different parts of your life. Things like your data is on chain that you have control over. Things like your healthcare records are on chain that you have control over. There's something called data democratization that's going to eventually happen. And that is when you'll start reaping the benefits of the data that's being collected on you. Truly understand and see there's a lot going on, okay, you guys? But the money is the first part of making that a reality. And that's what's happening right now with things like the Genius Act, okay? So yes, Visa, the #1 with 64% of the payment processing in the world, is now jumping into the ring of this arena. I will be right back.
All right, for our main story, today Visa unveiled a new pilot that allows businesses and platforms to send payouts directly to stablecoin wallets. Recipients will be able to receive their funds in USD-backed stablecoins like USDC. I sat down with Mark Nelson, head of product for Visa's commercial and money movement solutions, ahead of the announcement. He explained why it was important for Visa to move deeper into stablecoins and breaks down how the new pilot works. In a big step forward for stablecoin adoption, Visa is launching a pilot where businesses can send payments directly to the stablecoin wallets of recipients, and those include freelancers and creators. The goal to make the movement of money faster and easier. So can you take us through this pilot? How does it work exactly, and what are some of the other highlights?
Yeah, it starts with Visa Direct. So Visa Direct is our cross-border real-time money movement platform. Today, if you wanted to send money to someone, you could load your bank card into it. You could also use your bank account. But now we're adding stablecoin wallets as a way to receive money. And so if you're a business and you want to send money to your creator, for example, in the market, you can just have them load their stablecoin address and it sends the money to them immediately.
So you mentioned creators.
Yeah.
Who else is the ideal candidate for this pilot?
I mean, there's so many different ways that we would think about this. There's the creators, there's freelancers, there's gig workers. So let's say that you are working for a rideshare program, and you want to get paid daily for whatever you've done for that day. Once again, today, if you want to get paid today, you may have to wait 2 or 3 days if you use the normal banking process. But going forward, you could say to your employer, here's my stablecoin wallet address. I want to receive a portion of my payroll every day on stablecoins. And so they could then receive that in real time, instantaneously. And so it's just so incredible for them to do that. And then with content creators, as you're a content creator, you start to work with people around the world. You could also now receive a stablecoin backed, like a US dollar backed stablecoin, so you can get access to money fast, instantaneously, and then you also then can use that money to invest in your business and grow your business as well.
I love how you brought up those use cases, valuable information. And obviously right now it's a pilot.
Yes.
How long is this pilot going to last? And when do you anticipate it could potentially be available to the masses?
We are starting the pilot in the US, so US-based companies that want to send money to anyone around the world, they could do that. And then in the later half of 2026, we'll be expanding this to more countries as well. And so we encourage people who want to get into this space to contact Visa, and we'll work with them as we start to deploy this globally.
Why was it important for Visa to launch this specific pilot? Yeah. I understand you had new research come out from the Visa 2025 Creator Economy Report, which showed faster access to funds is ranked as the top reason digital content creators prefer using digital payment methods. In fact, 57% cited instant access as their leading motivation for choosing digital payment methods to get paid for content creation work. So how much of a factor was this research in your decision, and what other factors were in the mix?
It's incredibly important because it shows that real-time access to money is so important for many people. And so that is one reason, is to how do we get more optionality for people that want funds immediately. Stablecoins is a great technology that enables that. Another reason that we're really interested in this is we have for years been trying to go after the underbanked population. So people who don't have a bank account. Historically, it's been really hard for them to even participate in the digital economy. It would cost them so much money to find intermediaries to go and purchase something online. And so with stablecoin wallets, you can get a stablecoin wallet even if you don't have a bank account, and then you can start receiving money into those wallets and use and access the digital economy. So that was really important for us as well.
Now you just saw that interview, mainstream news with Visa. Truly understand and see. Hear the things that's coming out of his mouth and align it to things like a quant flow. We already know Visa and Quant has been in multiple POCs, those private permission blockchain things that were going on, multiple. The RLN is one of them. And that's a major one because that connects all of the major banks in the UK directly with also the Bank of England and UK Finance. Visa, MasterCard was right there. But also Project Rosalind. Visa was a part of Project Rosalind. What was that? That was the CBDC trials that QUANT Network did with things like Amazon, Barclays, MasterCard, the Bank of International Settlements, the Bank of England, Visa, MasterCard was right there. Understand, you guys, the Bank of Canada, these innovative products that they have built on top of the global standard. Truly understand and see the vision that it took Gilbert Verdian to actually sit down, because like he says, I like to solve pain points inside of huge financial systems and bring it into harmonious and coexistence. That's what he used to do when he was these big players in these huge companies. He was always over things like the cybersecurity. He was over protecting every single dollar that flowed through the European Union when he sat over Her Majesty's treasuries, so cybersecurity division. Like, truly understand and see, like, the complexity of where this man's mind is insane. And to know things like Overledger is incredible, but also things like a quant flow that we know you need a way to interoperate with this system. We know you currently don't have in your everyday processes the capability to do that easily without years of work We now give you a plug and play technology that can have you up and running in a matter of weeks. Truly understand and see what things like a quant flow is that is 1000% regulatory compliant. Understand and truly see what a quant flow, a quant authorize, a quant pay scripts, how it is truly going to affect the real institutional money. Because of course, even with the word institutional money, you have different levels of institutional money. I got some stuff about sandboxes coming out, and wait till you see the amount of money that are inside some of these sandboxes. Y'all follow me on this road of Quant Network. You will not be sorry. I promise you, the information that you are attaining, you can apply it, and certain things will happen in your everyday lives moving forward if Quant Network's plan goes off without a hitch. Okay, you guys? So I'm finna cut to this Quant Flow video and I will be right back.
Quant Flow, the money engine. I think this is a brilliant branding. It talks about a number of things. It talks about game-changing programmable automation. At the heart of Quant Flow is PayScript, Quant's open standard language of money. Quant Flow enables you to design custom payment workflows, automate complex financial operations, and create conditional payments. Gone are the days of complex and cumbersome manual processes. Welcome to the new era where money works for you, enabling frictionless business and global trade.
Quant Flow, and it's called PayScript, the language of money. Harness programmability to unlock new revenue streams, automate complex workflows, transform customer experiences, and secure a competitive edge in today's markets. Introduction. Programmable payments have garnered significant attention in recent years. Payments can be scheduled for specific times of specific events to align payments with cash flow, minimizing financial stress during leaner months or ensuring larger payments are made when funds are available. Application-based programmability. Various fintech companies define programmable payments as transactions that can be integrated into software applications. So, boom, things like what the OVM provides with Overledger, or in this case, the other platform, Quant Flow, and allowing businesses to automate payment processing and improve cash flow management. Industry overlay layer-based programmability. Okay, how do you say Overledger without saying it? Boom, there you go. It mentions for those who use financial management tools on page 5 of 27. Programmable payments can integrate seamlessly with these platforms, allowing for forecasting to future spending, including irregular payments or semi-regular manual payments. And it says it's got this thing called the set and forget for certain payments. They can also receive timely prompts, one click to pay, which simplifies a wide range of informal payment scenarios, freeing up time to focus on other priorities.
But you guys understand, truly see what is happening right now. There is so much going on in the world of finance. There is so much going on in the world of distributed ledger technology and how that interacts and intercedes with finance, and the infrastructure and backbone that is tied to global standards and internet protocols from a company called QUANT Network. Knowing about these things in 2025 and seeing where the G20's roadmap is, seeing where the BRICS nations roadmap is, because all of this, even Overledger, ties directly into AI as well, you guys. Like, truly see, this is so much bigger than just the money or the financial system. This is humongous, is what this is. Look at those working groups and look at what all those working groups are tackling, and all of those things tie into the global standard for building on blockchain. Truly see, and you have a thing like a Quant Flow that was crafted by the creators of that interoperable technology, which means these people know it better than anybody, which means they will be able to build on it better than anybody. And those products that we have now built is now being given to the world as a plug and play, no hiccup, no oh no, no oops moment. You come inside this sandbox, you build out what you need to build out, you become comfortable, and then you migrate seamlessly into this new world. And for a lot of you, you don't have a choice because you have global standards that are going live. You only have so long to comply to that global standard after it is published. It's a ticket. This is the reason why Apple officially adopted that new C-Wave charger, because that is the global standard. Apple only had so long before it had to comply to the global standard after the standard was published.
So I guess the status is standards are being developed. They are very close to publication. We already have a few that have come out from ISO TC 307. There's a lot of cross collaboration from different standards bodies. So, across the EU, across international bodies, IEEE, etc., ITUT. So there's a lot of work that's being done and harmonization on that. And there's real tangible, standards that people can start using today. And that's great to see, because, we don't want to build things that don't work together, and we don't want to build things that are not standardized. And as institutions, most people rely on standards. So it's a great way for the mainstream adoption of DLT, because it's standardized, it'll be more trusted, and there'll be more adoption of it.
That is how global standards work. And you now have global standards for the new internet. But this global standard doesn't stifle it. It allows it to do anything, because it is giving it the capability for any network to connect to any network.
Anyone hosting gateways to run their own gateway on their own servers and their infrastructure, that means they will pay for licenses in QNT, and all the transactions can be billed using QNT across the network. And so our job is to create this open ecosystem where anyone can be a participant. We're busy in the background bringing enterprise and institutional use cases to the network. We have lots and lots of meetings every week with governments, with enterprise, with institutions, with clients who want to build new technology and new what we call MDAPs, so multi DLT, distributed applications on top of the network. So the QNT token is at the core of everything that we're doing. And what happens is, if you own gateways and you run this on the network, when you process transactions, you get paid in QNT. It's a great ecosystem that we're building, and this will evolve. We want to make it the currency and the payment option for all the data and the transactions that are being put on the network, so people can actually trade in QNT, and it can be used for hundreds and hundreds of use cases around, AI, data. If you want to do an MDAP on payments, if you want to do an MDAP as an exchange, if you want to do anything, compute, if you want to create like an AWS equivalent on the Overledger network, all of this is possible. So QNT has just become that, pure utility token that can be used for everything.
Truly understand and see 50 years, 60 years for real, what Overledger, what that framework has built out on top of, as more and more people. It's like even like Gilbert Verdian. For Gilbert Verdian to even come up with the concept of Overledger, you have to remember, go back now 20, 30 years into where he was in the early days of the internet, looking at a lot of the pioneers of that time in space and soaking things in and learning things and seeing how things interoperated. Even people like a Dr. Luke Riley as well, like truly understand and see their even understanding of the complexities of the internet. Not even blockchain, the internet, because that's where it starts from, you guys. It's so vast on so many different levels. And then apply that knowledge of the internet and the infrastructure of that to see how you need to build the infrastructure of the future. And then do it tremendously tie it into global standards and internet protocols, and then build technology on top of it that fits any standardized body of regulatory rules around the world seamlessly. No matter where you are in the world, this product can literally adhere to the regulations of that jurisdiction. What? Understand and truly see what you hold when you hold QNT. Because what Quant Network has built out is incredible. It truly, truly is. Okay, you guys. So I won't hold you too much longer. I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm going to thank you for tapping in. And if you made it all the way through this entire video, type in Visa. Because for the #1 payment processor in the world now to be getting into this whole shift truly and seeing how that is in alignment with all these other things like central banks, commercial banks like SoFi, like understand and truly see the Web3 space is truly being birthed right now in 2025. And you're going to have key individuals and key players, especially your ISOs, these regulatory compliant projects, your hbar, your IOTA, your QNT, of course, your XRP, your XLM, your XDCs. Like these things are going to be extremely critical in lots of different ways, especially when it comes to the public deployment and sector of blockchain and distributed ledger technologies. Truly understand and see what's happening right now. Okay, you guys. So if you made it all the way through this entire video, I said type in Visa, because them being a part of this mix now, it's game changer. Till the next time, y'all already know. I appreciate y'all. Peace out.